I've built this company from scratch, sacrificed everything, and on the most important day of the year, the product launch we've worked toward for 18 months. Not a single employee showed up. Not one. And then the emails started coming in. They all said the same thing: we're not coming in today. No explanation. No respect. No consideration for the man who gave them opportunity. The worst part? I had to tell them, face to face. My team ghosted me, and I had to explain to the one client that would define our future why our launch was impossible. But then I found it. The group chat they thought they deleted. Every message, every plan, every betrayal. They had orchestrated this together. My leadership team orchestrated this. You made a choice today, not just professionally, but as people, and I'm about to make mine. Buckle up. Because in the next 40 minutes, you're going to understand what betrayal really costs. It's 7:47 in the morning on March 15th. Marcus Webb, a single father of 2 beautiful children, wakes up with one thing on his mind. Today is the day. Today, everything changes. Today, his company, Webb Digital Solutions, launches the most ambitious product of their entire existence. It's 18 months in the making, 18 months of sacrifice. 18 months of late nights, missed bedtimes, canceled soccer games, and a son who asked him why he wasn't at the school play. But today makes it all worth it. Or so he thought. Marcus drives his Tesla through the quiet Austin streets at 7:30 a.m., beating his entire team to the office by design. That's who he is. That's who he's always been. The man who sets the example. The man who works harder than anyone else. The single dad who somehow manages to be present for his kids while building an empire. It seems impossible, but he's done it. He arrives at the 15-story glass tower that houses his offices on the top floor, his parking spot, the one with his name printed on it. Sits empty, as it always does at this hour. He likes the quiet. He likes the solitude before the storm, before the energy, before everyone arrives. The elevator ride up seems different today. Maybe it's anticipation. Maybe it's the weight of everything he sacrificed. Maybe it's a father's intuition that something is about to go catastrophically wrong. He doesn't know it yet, but that intuition is screaming at him. The doors open the 15th floor, his kingdom, the suite of offices where his vision became reality, the place where he transformed from a single dad working 2 jobs into a CEO, the place where he proved that you don't have to choose between being a great father and being a great businessman. He walks past the empty conference room. The catering is already set up, $10,000 worth of gourmet breakfast and coffee, fresh pastries from the French bakery downtown, the fruit platter shaped like the company logo. Everything is perfect. He reaches his office and sets his briefcase down. The presentation deck is loaded and ready on his screen. Video testimonials from satisfied clients are queued up. The press release has been sent to every major tech outlet in Texas and Silicon Valley. The dominoes are ready to fall. Everything is positioned for success. Then he notices it, the silence. At 8:15 a.m. there should be sounds. There should be conversations. There should be the ambient noise of a company coming alive for the day. There should be people. He walks to the main workspace, row after row of desks. Every single one is empty. He checks his watch. 8:22 a.m. His eyes narrow. He pulls out his phone and opens the employee tracking app. Every single one of his 45 employees marked as not arriving today. Every single one. It takes him 30 seconds to realize this isn't a coincidence. This is coordinated. This is planned. This is mutiny. His first call is to David Chen, his chief technology officer, best friend, mentor figure. The man who he personally promoted to his position 2 years ago after David's divorce left him broken and struggling. David doesn't answer. Voicemail. His second call is to Angela Morrison, director of sales, a woman he hired directly from college, trained personally, and watched grow into one of the most brilliant minds in digital marketing. Angela doesn't answer. Voicemail. He doesn't bother with calls 3 through 15. Instead, he opens his email. What he finds is worse than silence. What he finds is prepared, coordinated betrayal. Dear Marcus, they all say, almost word for word, we have decided not to come to the office today. We feel that our labor has been undervalued and our contributions unappreciated. We will discuss our demands upon your request. Sincerely, Webb Digital Solutions employees. Demands. They wrote demands, like he's some kind of tyrant. Like he's not the man who paid for David Chen's daughter's college tuition when David couldn't afford it. Like he's not the one who drove Angela to the hospital at 2 a.m. when she had appendicitis because she didn't have family in the city. Then comes the moment that will define everything that follows. At 8:58 a.m., his private line rings. It's Richard Patterson, the CEO of Tech Venture Capital, the man who signed the contract worth $40 million. The contract that would fund Webb Digital's expansion and cement them as a regional player on the national stage. the man who specifically requested this morning's launch presentation to finalize his investment commitment. Marcus, we're in the video conference waiting room, Richard says, his voice already carrying the tension of impatience. We have a hard stop in 45 minutes. We need to get this moving. Marcus has to make a choice, lie or tell the truth. He chooses truth. He explains to Richard Patterson, to the man who holds his company's future in his hands, that his entire team, in a coordinated fashion, has refused to show up to work today. The silence on the other end of that line is the sound of $40 million evaporating. Call us back when you have your situation under control, Richard says, and hangs up. Marcus sits in his chair. He sits perfectly still for a full 10 minutes. Not thinking, not processing, not feeling, just sitting. And then something changes. Confusion transforms into clarity. Panic transforms into purpose. Hurt transforms into resolve. He opens the company's private network drive. He's looking for something specific, and he finds it. A folder created 3 days ago. Encrypted at first, but Marcus is thorough. He's always been thorough. He finds the backup encryption key. He opens the folder. What he discovers will change everything. A group chat that goes back 6 weeks. Messages between his entire leadership team. Messages where they discuss exploiting a company legal loophole to essentially stage a mutiny. They discuss it like it's a game. They use terms like power shift and corporate correction. But there's more. There's financial evidence. Months of it. They've been coordinating with a competitor. A company called NextGen Digital. They've been feeding NextGen confidential information about Webb's clients, Webb's technology, Webb's strategies. In exchange, NextGen has been offering each of them better positions, better salaries, better equity. They were planning to leave all along. They were planning to take the company's intellectual property with them. This wasn't about work conditions or feeling undervalued. This was premeditated corporate espionage. This was theft. This was betrayal at the highest level. Marcus picks up his phone. He places a call, then another, then another. By 10 a.m., every single employee who didn't show up to work has received a text message. Emergency board meeting, conference room. Immediately. This is not optional. The curiosity is too much for them. They come back, all 45 of them, filing into the conference room like they own the place. They're angry. They're defensive. Some of them are laughing. Laughing, like this is all a game to them. Marcus walks in last. He's still wearing that navy shirt. His sleeves are rolled up now. His tie is gone. He looks like a man who's about to do something that will either destroy him or free him. Maybe both. You know what day today was supposed to be? He asks them. His voice is calm. Too calm. Today was supposed to be the day we changed everything. Today was supposed to be the day your work meant something. Your sacrifices meant something. Your loyalty meant something. He walks to the projection screen. He starts showing them screenshots from their private chat. The room goes silent. Some of them try to deny it. Some try to rationalize it. David Chen looks like he's about to be sick. Here's what I want you to understand, Marcus says, his voice dropping to something cold and dangerous. I didn't build this company for me. I built it for my kids. I built it as proof that you can be a great father and a great businessman. I built it as a legacy to leave them. I built it on the principle that you take care of your people. He pauses. He looks directly at David Chen. The betrayal in that look could shatter glass. And you took that. You took my vision. You took my trust. You took my opportunity and you tried to weaponize it against me. Then he does something nobody expects. He picks up a folder. Inside are 45 documents. He starts calling names. David Chen, you're terminated. Effective immediately. Angela Morrison, terminated. James Rodriguez, terminated. He goes through every single name, every single person, one after another. It takes 8 minutes to fire his entire company. 8 minutes to dissolve everything he built. The room erupts into chaos. Some people start crying. Some start pleading. Some become angry and defensive. Security will escort you from the building, Marcus says when he's done. Your final paychecks will be mailed to your residences. Any severance has been forfeited due to breach of contract and the attempted theft of proprietary information. We will be pursuing legal action for the corporate espionage. You're done here. But this is only the beginning, because Marcus Webb isn't the kind of man who accepts defeat. He's the kind of man who transforms disaster into opportunity. That afternoon, Marcus sits back in his empty office. 45 employees gone, a $40 million deal in jeopardy, a launch that's been delayed. And yet, for the first time all day, Marcus smiles, because he's realized something profound. He doesn't need them. He never did. Yes, they contributed. Yes, their work was valuable. But the vision? The vision is his. The innovation? That comes from him. The drive? That's all him. He built this company. They were just passengers on his journey. He makes a phone call to a recruiter he knows. I need 45 people, he says. Good people, loyal people, and I need them by Monday. The recruiter thinks he's insane. It's impossible. You can't replace an entire company in 3 days. But Marcus Webb has never believed in impossible. Over the next 72 hours, something remarkable happens. Marcus doesn't just replace his staff. He rebuilds his company with people who are hungry. People who don't have complacency in their blood. People who understand that loyalty is a two-way street and trust is earned daily. The new team is younger, hungrier, more diverse, more talented. They work around the clock. They absorb the product launch information. They learn the client requirements. And remarkably, they're excited about it. Truly excited. Not because they're forced. Not because they feel obligated. But because they understand what they're part of. On Tuesday, Marcus goes to his children's school. He picks Sophie up from her class. He picks Jake up from his. He takes them to the park. He sits on a bench and he tells them the whole story. Not the pretty version. The real version. The version where Daddy made mistakes in who he trusted. Sometimes, he tells them, people aren't who you think they are. And sometimes, when that happens, you have to make hard decisions. But the hard decisions are the ones that lead to the right future. Sophie, his 12-year-old, looks at him with wisdom beyond her years. Dad, she says, did you learn anything? Marcus pauses. He thinks about David Chen. He thinks about Angela Morrison. He thinks about all the people he cared for. All the people he invested in. All the people who threw it back in his face. Yes, he says finally, I learned that you can be generous and still be strong. You can be caring and still be decisive. And you can believe in people while also protecting yourself from people who don't deserve your belief. Friday morning arrives. The product launch is back on schedule. The new team is ready. The presentation is perfect. And when Marcus walks into that conference room to meet with Richard Patterson and the venture capital team, something has shifted. Richard Patterson shakes Marcus's hand firmly. He's impressed. Not by the product, though the product is brilliant. Not by the presentation, though the presentation is flawless. He's impressed by the man himself. I've been in this business for 20 years, Richard says, and I've never seen someone handle a crisis like you just did. You lost your entire company on Monday. By Friday, you have a better company. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's vision. The $40 million deal is signed. But it's not just the original $40 million anymore. Richard is so impressed with Marcus's handling of the crisis that he increases the investment. $50 million. $50 million. Enough to not just expand. Enough to dominate. But the real victory isn't financial. The real victory comes 2 weeks later when Marcus receives a message. It's from David Chen. A formal apology. A confession that he made a terrible mistake. That watching Marcus continue forward and build something even better out of the ashes made him realize how small and petty his own ambitions had been. Marcus reads the message. He feels the anger. He feels the hurt. He feels the vindication. But mostly, he feels free. Free from the need to prove anything to David anymore. Free from the need to understand why. Free from the weight of caring what people who don't deserve his care think of him. He doesn't respond to David. That chapter is closed. That person is irrelevant to his future now. As for Marcus, he's never been better. His company is thriving. His kids are proud of him. His team is loyal not out of obligation but out of genuine respect. He's built something greater than what he lost because he transformed loss into wisdom. And that, dear viewers, is the most important lesson of all. You can't control what people do. You can't control betrayal. You can't control circumstances beyond your influence. But you can control how you respond. You can control whether you let disaster define you or refine you. Marcus Webb chose refinement, and now his legacy isn't just the company he built. It's the man he became in the process.